seventh bout of the evening, a cruiserweight competition. Please welcome into the blue corner, Apisit Sangmuang.
Ice is crashing to the neon light, bloody sweat painting the canvas tonight. Voices screaming above the roar, untamed warriors rise in the fire that flames. Global war, door rings the throne, flesh on fire, breaking bone. One winner under the blazing sun, fight to death till the warriors won. Gloves hit hard like thunder in the storm. Battle cries and roar for fellows.
His opponent in this cruiserweight competition. Please welcome into the red corner, from Algeria, Lamrani Abderrezzak.
Inside the ring, shadows fall. Two fighters stand silent, call. Sweat and blood, the bell tolls. Knuckles clash, story unfolds. Battles fought inside.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a cruiserweight competition. Fought over 8 by 3-minute rounds with a weight limit, 90.7 kilos. Tonight, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing red trunks with white trim. Weighted at 90.8 kg, 171 centimeters in height, and 22 years of age. He hails from Thailand. He's trained by Singmin Sakchik Boxing Gym. With a fight record, 31 fights, 22 wins, 8 losses, 1 draw, 17 wins by way of KO. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Apisit Sangmuang. His opponent, ladies and gentlemen, fighting out of the red corner, wearing red trunks with black trim. He weighed at 90.5 kg, 172 centimeters in height, 28 years of age. He comes from Algeria. He's trained locally though here at FCC Boxing Gym. A fight record an impressive 7 fights, 7 wins, 5 wins by way of KO. Ladies and gentlemen, Lamrani Abderrezzak. Your third man in the ring, Mr. Chris Sanyadek. Okay guys, I've got a feeling this is going to be a good one.
And thank you everyone for joining us after that we just witnessed. Now we're back into action, cruiserweight action, 8 3-minute rounds scheduled. Lamrani Abderrezzak from Algeria with a perfect record of 7 wins takes on Apisit Gym from Thailand, who has had a whopping 31 fights. 31 fights, 22 wins. Lamrani in the red shorts, but the FCC logo. And Apisit also in red shorts.
Round 1.
And here we are, round number 1 underway for both of these gentlemen. Cruiserweight action, heavier action. And you can see Lamrani already starting off with a nice jab. Apisit returning with some jabs to the body already. Apisit with a lot of lateral movement. You know, cruiserweights, you know, you can tend to see the first round they move a lot, but then as soon as they can get into the later rounds, they just start hammering away at each other, and it tends to be a case of who falls first. But Lamrani with a nice jab down the middle. Apisit returns with a jab of his own to the body. Big 1-2 downstairs landed by Apisit. But you can see the height difference between these two fighters. Lamrani, definitely the much taller fighter. Looks a little bit more natural for that cruiserweight division. Apisit a little bit shorter, less natural looking for that weight, but again, he moves pretty well. You can tell the man used to box at a very lighter weight than this, the way he's moving as well. Big swing and a miss upstairs for Apisit. Lamrani holds down the fort, looks very, very calm, just looking for those openings. Jabbed upstairs and then left hook to the body landed by Lamrani. Right hand upstairs attempted, but just missed the target, and this is where Lamrani really comes alive. Landing some beautiful combinations. Apisit with his backs against the ropes and then just swears out of the way of that big chopping right hand. But here we see Lamrani once again just absolutely cleaving his way through right now at his opponent. His opponent hits the canvas, and I think that was a bit of a tactical knee for Apisit. Lamrani just absolutely cleaving his way through this opponent, cracking him to the temple. And Lamrani looking very calm, cool as a cucumber as always, but I think Apisit has got to do something different here, otherwise it's going to be a very similar situation. I think Apisit needed just a bit of a breather then after he took such a huge walloping from Lamrani, and there we see it again. Lamrani feinting his way in, going to the body, going upstairs, just being an absolute disaster for Apisit to deal with. Jab for jab action for both of these fighters. Less than a minute to go. Lamrani comes alive with a big flurry. Apisit again with his back against the ropes. He's getting underneath some of these shots here. So Lamrani should really start walking that body. You know, the head moves, but the body tends to stay in a stable position. Big crunching right hand through the middle there landed. And Lamrani just holds central ring. Looks very calm. 30 seconds to go of round number 1. We are scheduled for 8, but we are already witnessing big shots being displayed here. We're already 1 knockdown. Lamrani just closing off the ring, cutting off the movement of Apisit, getting him where he wants him, and then starts to send these big rocketing right hands. Swinging a bit for both fighters. Apisit gets underneath these shots here. And the shots that miss tend to tire you out more, so Lamrani's got to be careful here. He doesn't just punch himself out. That's the end of round number 1. A very, very good round there for Lamrani, already scoring that 10-8 round with that knockdown. And again, Apisit has got good head movement. He's got good lateral movement. He knows how to move like a cruiserweight. He knows how to get out of the way, but moving just isn't enough. You've got to throw some shots with it. Lamrani biding his time, not rushing into anything. He knows his opponent is exactly where he wants him. All Lamrani does now is just bide his time, stick with the jab, keep flicking that jab out, and as soon as he gets that moment, start going to the body and then going upstairs. Because right now, Apisit's head movement is going to tire out Lamrani, so he's got to be very careful he doesn't just punch himself out too quickly. And I think what I've just seen right now, there is a doctor, and he's been retired in his corner. Does not make it out for the second round, which is probably a very, very good idea. And look, that's one of those situations in boxing where you've got to accept that just because you're a boxer, you don't have to be a fighter. You have to accept that if you're losing the boxing match, you come back fighting another day. You come back fitter the next day. So you don't have to get in there and get absolutely hit hard for the sake of it. You don't have to be a fighter. You can just be a boxer, and that's what we're witnessing. Great decision by the corner.
The boxer retired after the beginning of round 2. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner is red corner. Ladies and gentlemen, big hand please for Lamrani Abderrezzak.